Welcome back, friends. In the past couple of videos, we laid out the foundations for HTML and we also created a clean resume page with just HTML. Today, we are going a little deeper and learning more about accessibility and related stuff. This session is beginner friendly, but I will also show a few things that are slightly intermediate so you understand how professional websites handle accessibility. So, let us jump right in. Before we start, let me recommend a couple of VS Code extensions that are useful for us. So the first extension would be Live Server. If it is not already installed, just install it. And then the next one would be Prettier. This is the code formatter for Visual Studio Code. So if you have both of these ready, then we are good to go. Next thing we have to understand is what accessibility actually means. Let us start with a simple question. What is accessibility? In web development, accessibility means making sure our websites can be used by everyone, including people with visual, hearing, mobility, or cognitive difficulties. Good accessibility improves the experience for every user, not just a few. It also improves SEO and helps search engines understand your web pages better. Now let us talk about the two pillars of accessibility we will use today. One is the semantic HTML, which we already saw in previous videos as well, and the another one is the keyboard navigation. Semantic HTML means using meaningful tags like header, nav, main, section, article, footer, aside, figure, and so on. These tags give a structure to your content. They help browsers, search engines, and assistive technologies understand what each part of your page represents. Keyboard navigation is equally important. Some users browse the entire web page using only keyboard. If your website works smoothly with the tab key, arrow keys, and enter key, your accessibility score instantly becomes better. So these two things, semantics and keyboard flow, create the foundation of accessible page. Now let us switch to VS Code and write a little code to understand how ARIA labels and roles work. We already built our resume page, so I will scroll to the top and show you something. You see, we have a tab icon in the head section. This is also a semantic part of our document setup. It helps us browsers identify your site, but we would not spend much time on it as we already have done it in the previous video. So let us focus on accessibility attributes. The one thing we have is the alt text, which we also saw in the previous video, but here we will have a look at it once again. First, every image must have an alt attribute. Our resume has a profile image, so we have written this alt equal to and this text. This helps screen readers understand what the image actually represents. Then we have ARIA labels. ARIA stands for Accessible Rich Internet Applications. You should use ARIA only when HTML cannot express meaning by itself. For example, if currently we have social media links where we clearly say it is YouTube and this one is LinkedIn. But if we had logos for that, for example, instead of YouTube text, we had the logo. At that time, we would be using the ARIA label. So we would add it like this, the ARIA label equal to my YouTube profile, and that way assistive technologies clearly announce it as profile link. The next is the role attribute. Many HTML elements already come with built-in roles like header, main, nav, and footer. But if you have a generic div or span that performs something special, you can assign a role to clarify its purpose. For example, if we had a custom element acting like a button, I could write role equal to button. But on our resume page, most elements are already semantic, so we do not need to force additional roles. Whenever possible, choose a semantic tag instead of a div. Your code becomes cleaner, easier to read, and more accessible by default. Try to make this as a habit. Over time, it becomes second nature. Now, let us test the keyboard navigation. But before that, I want you to open our resume page, which we built in the previous video with Live Server. For that, I will right click on the file and open with Live Server. And it should open your page in your web browser. So once you have it, I will start pressing the tab key. You will notice that the tab order moves across the links in a natural sequence. That is great, but what if we want to change this behavior? For example, what if I want the tab key to focus on my profile image first? We can add tab index attribute to control order. So if I write tab index equal to 1 on my image and tab index equal to 2 on the next element, for example my name, h1 tag, the browser will follow this custom order. Use this only when you have a strong reason, because having a natural flow is usually better. Now let us run an accessibility check using Lighthouse. You can find it inside DevTools. I will open DevTools by right clicking on the page, then choose Inspector, and here in the options I will choose Lighthouse tab. But before you do this, make sure that you have opened the page with live server, because most of the things in the Lighthouse tab will work only if you have opened it with live server. Now I will click on analyze page load, probably for all of these. That is fine. This gives us a quick score. It will quickly check for the score along with the suggestions. Do not worry if it is not giving you 100 out of 100. This goal is not to chase numbers, but to understand and improve real issues. If Lighthouse highlights missing labels or incorrect structure, fix those directly in your HTML, and that should make your page better. So that is it for today's accessibility and semantic section. We learned about alt text, ARIA labels, semantics, keyboard navigation, and used Lighthouse to audit accessibility. Try these improvements by your own. That will make you better with semantics and accessibility. If this session helped you, make sure you like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel. This is your host, Qurashi Akeel. I will see you in the next one. Fi Amanillah.